Hello everybody and welcome back. Another video. I'm trying to work my way through a backlog, so if I'm putting them out too quickly, let me know. It's just we have 5 or 6 sat in the pending and we've got 12 that have come in, so I'll try and slow them down for you. But unfortunately, that's the rate they're coming in at the moment. But I wasn't sure whether to put this one on the map or not, to be honest. I came across it in a blog that I like to read, and it's SJH Strange Tales. And she has some wonderful stories in there, and it's one of the ways that I relax. I'll have a look and have a binge day and read up on all of the things. But I found this one, and I'm not sure whether to put it on the map or not. I'll read it to you, and you guys let me know what you think. Back in the 1840s, in a village near Basingstoke, stood a house called the Swallows. It was a substantial rural property, standing in its own 2 acres of land, and the house had been standing empty for quite some time, when a Mr. Bishop of Tring finally bought it in 1841. The things were to kick off at the Swallows almost immediately. After being in residence for barely a fortnight, Mr. Bishop found 2 of his servants giving notice that they wanted to leave. It's hard work when that happens, isn't it? Their reasons for doing so was that they claimed the house was haunted by either a big cat or a big baboon. They said they had constantly seen this peculiar creature creeping down the staircases and passageways. Even more alarmingly than that, they also said they'd heard the sound of somebody being strangled. Naturally, news of all this spread like wildfire through the village, and crowds of people descended on the house to see if they could witness anything, a little like Kenneth Chase in 2017. Vigils were kept, and one night at about midnight, several of the vigilantes were keeping watch in the courtyard when they witnessed something quite astonishing. What appeared to be the form of a huge cat and a baboon rose up from the closed grating of the cellar underneath the old dairy, and rushed past them, and disappeared into a dark angle of the walls. These extraordinary creatures were also seen afterwards by other witnesses. Early in December 1841, Mr. Bishop heard terrifying screams accompanied by hoarse jabberings coming from the top of the house. He rushed to the top of the building, only to be greeted by silence. By that time, understandably, Mr. Bishop had had enough of the house and put it up for sale. He was lucky enough to find a buyer fairly quickly, a retired colonel. However, that gentleman was also scared out of it, and he too left the property within 12 months. The house seems to have been pulled down soon after that, and the land was used for cottages. Unfortunately, the haunting continued, and the cottages soon became uninhabitable. The cottages too were eventually demolished, and the land was converted into allotments. No one seems to have any idea what could have been behind this haunting. There is some rumour that the property had previously been the lair of a notorious highwayman. Well, when aren't they notorious? And he died after falling through a floor into a vat of oil. I'm not quite sure where the baboon and the big cat fit in, although there have been some vague speculation that they might have been his pets at one time. That's an incredibly strange one, isn't it? But what a wonderful story. But it's not the only account of what we would call a country house here in the UK that has a baboon or a ghost, claimed ghost of an ape. I think I've done a video on one before, the one in Ireland. There's one at Dundonald as well. And there's a famous one that was on Most Haunted where Derek Acorah did his, wonderful chimp impersonation. But it seems to be that among our stately homes in the UK, not only do we have interbred relatives and not very nice food and it's rather cold and you all have to live in a tiny room, but we also have baboons and spirit monkeys abound. So if you know anything about the swallows or this tale on a serious note, if you know anything about it or it's something you've had a look into, will you get back to me? I'm going to message the lady at Strange Tales and see where she found this particular version. Because like to have I'll put a video together of all of the stately homes in the UK that have a strange, hairy inhabitant. Until next time, let's keep plodding and I'll get through another video. Good night.